American Express charge cards versus American Express credit cards. When it comes to building out your personal and business credit profiles, which one of these cards, these tools is going to be most valuable in doing so? One of the most valuable skills I've learned as a professional banker, being a mortgage broker and a loan broker, has been knowing how to match objectives with products, understanding how to find the right tool to help you reach your financial goals. When you're dealing with American Express's charge cards and credit cards, it's very important to understand the functionality of each one of those tools so you can make sure that you're making the right decision when you're basically filling up a slot for a new credit product on your credit profile. Every single one of those slots, those cards need to perform a job for you. And when you're building out your personal credit profile as well as building out your business credit profile, very important to understand what each one of those tools are doing for you. This is the reason I don't have any American Express charge cards at the time of this recording. And the main reason for that is because it is not the most effective tool in building out particularly my personal credit profile. A little bit different on the business credit side, but we're going to talk about that in a second. When you think about building out your personal credit profile, you need to understand the 5 or 6 major metrics that determine or calculate out your credit score in the first place. Of the top 2, payment history is obviously number 1, but the very close number 2 is going to be utilization. When you're dealing with charge cards, they are not designed to be debt tools, hardly at all. They've come along with the planning features and pay over time features, but in essence, they're spending tools almost exclusively. That means that there's no hard credit limit set. There's no hard credit limit being reported on your credit report. So that means that you're not able to fulfill the utilization portion of your credit report with a charge card. That's very important to understand because now 30% of your scoring on the personal credit side is not being impacted at all. You can't leverage against it in a positive way. That is why currently, for my strategy, I have no American Express charge cards, even though they're really dope tools. For spending, bonus, acquisition, points accumulation, they're great. And if you need cash flow over the stretch of 30 days or so, they're still great. But if your objective is to build personal credit and even to some degree your business credit, then charge cards miss a significant gap in building out your credit profile on the personal side and to some degree on the business side. For me, the charge card game is going to come in a little bit later. Honestly, it's a big boy tool. And this is when you have significant spend, personal or business spend, that you can pay off every time in full every month like clockwork. I have that, but that's not where I want that spending to go at the moment. I want to play the utilization game. So I have no room for charge cards at the moment because the expenses I would have to put on it to make it make sense, I would be deviating away from my utilization strategy. This is how you need to be thinking about this for yourself when you're applying for personal and business credit cards. Now, on the business side of this equation, the utilization is a minimal to almost completely non-existent factor on most business credit profiles. I believe Experian Business accounts for maybe 15% of that scoring metric is done through utilization, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one other bureau accounts for it, but for the most part, it's just a matter of payment activity when it comes to your business credit profile. Now, obviously, the lender themselves is going to care about utilization. They may not want to see more than about 50% of your balances, or you using more than 50% of your balances, or rolling over more than 50% of your balances. But the actual credit profile itself, almost non-existent to completely non-existent. That basically means that a charge card, if you can afford to put heavy spend on and pay it out in full, could be useful for you on the business side. And that's probably where I'm going to go first. When I get my first charge card, I'm probably going to get maybe the AMEX Platinum or Gold because that's why I have some offers right now. Later on in the year, once I've completed or gotten to a certain level on the utilization strategy that I'm playing right now. At the moment, I want to show a full calibration of behaviors when it comes to my personal and business credit profiles. I want to show that I can play that game. Even if I'm rolling over a balance, I want to be able to show that I can pay down on that balance, pay it off completely, etc., etc. I just want to show more behavior. Charge cards don't allow you to do that. And so I wanted to put this in perspective because many of you are on a similar journey that I'm on. And it's very important for you to know what lending products you need for what goals you have. And you need to know it in advance. You don't want to stack up a bunch of charge cards, filling up the available space of cards you can have in entirety, and it's not serving a significant portion of your strategy if you're building personal credit out. And you can have a ton of charge cards with American Express versus only about 4 to 6 personal or business credit cards at one time with American Express. You can have up to, I believe, 10 charge cards. Obviously so, because they're spending tools. American Express will let you have at it with charge cards because you're supposed to pay them off in full. There's less risk for them. There's a different risk exposure with credit cards because it can be used as a debt tool. So I don't want to waste the available spots I have with American Express or the available spend that I have by racking up a bunch of charge cards, and I'm unable to exercise the full capacity of my credit profile and credit score on my way to getting higher and higher limits. So very important to keep this in mind when you're on this journey. I wanted to put context on it because I'm going into my next round of funding where I'm going to be stacking up more credit over the summer, and I have to assess what cards I'm going to go after. And charge cards are not on the radar for me until probably the later half of this year. Now, when I get to that point, I'm going to be glad to break the news to you because that means that I'm in a different phase of building out my business and personal financials. And I have room for spend and repayment that accommodates the use and capacity of charge cards. So please keep this in mind on your journey, and I'm going to keep you posted on mine. So I want you to comment down below and let me know where you are in your credit journey on the personal and business side. Do you have charge cards? How is it working out for you? Do you have exclusively personal or business credit cards with credit limits? Do you see charge cards coming in your future if you don't have them? And the pros and cons you're experiencing with charge cards. Lend me a little perspective if you think I'm missing something in the charge card game by not having them right now. Comment down below and let me know. I'm open to hear about it. Other than that, to all my new viewers, welcome in. To all my returning viewers, welcome back. To all my pioneers, I want you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.